Guitar Rap! We're back with the best guitar series on YouTube. Today I'm gonna be trying the form a little bit differently with having my guitar sitting on my lap right now. See how it goes. Today we have another tuning specific video, which I believe is one of the most underrated tunings ever, especially for metal. Drop A sharp. We're gonna be playing all of the riffs in this episode with this stunning red Schecter PT SLS Elite with this beautiful natural back. It's definitely becoming one of my favorite guitars. And also this episode is sponsored by Sweetwater, but more on that later. So let's not waste any more time and get right into the riffs. We have to kick off the episode with an OG deathcore band. It's the Acacia Strain with Car Bomb. This is definitely one of their most iconic songs. It's a pretty simple song, but it's a lot of fun to play, and it just goes hard, and it shows how a lot of songs can be carried with sheer attitude instead of having to have like intricate guitar parts. I mean, it's literally just... and also having the second breakdown of the song, which is right after the intro breakdown, be this start and stop part with the drums. Oh, it just goes so hard with that. Using that specific shape of riff, I use it a lot in my own music. I don't know, it's just such a fun song. Check it out. After that, we have a newer band, and it's definitely the band that I listen to the least out of the entire list. It's Mugshot with A For A Waking Nightmare. I believe this is one of their newer songs. Mugshot is kind of like a modern hardcore slash metalcore kind of band. This song is groovy as hell. The specific kind of hardcore groove I like a lot. I like kind of implementing it in my own music as much as I can. And also those little chromatic grooves that they do in this song add a lot of spice to it though. I don't know, in my opinion, I will put a fun riff over a technical riff any day of the week. Now we have another OG deathcore band that I knew already that they used this tuning at some point in their career, but I didn't know they started using it this early. It's For A Cowboy with Entities. You already know how much I love the Doom EP, how close to my heart it is. It was a very big part of my formative years of discovering metal. And I was actually planning on including some song from Genesis, but I really like Entities. It's definitely top 3 favorite For A Cowboy songs for me. Before moving on with the riffs, I gotta give a massive shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Sweetwater. If you didn't know about Sweetwater, they're one of the biggest musical equipment retailers in the entire world. Most of the things that I use to create my videos, whether it is like guitars that I use to play the riffs, any recording equipment like my interface, like this microphone that I'm using right now, or even video equipment like the camera and the lights that I'm using to record these videos, can be found through Sweetwater. Personally, I got these cables from Gator Cable Works from their Composer series, and I really like them. I especially like the tips because I feel very sturdy, and I really needed some really short cables because I just got a new desk and I just wanted everything to be cleaner. I didn't want to have a mess of cables behind it, and I haven't really found any cables that are as short as this are because literally there's just such a short distance between the stuff that I need to connect with this. They're not even touching the floor with them. That's exactly what I needed. But yeah, any musical equipment needs that you may have, Sweetwater has most definitely got you covered. So if you would like to check them out, I will leave my affiliate link in the description down below. And like I said, it's an affiliate link, so if you buy anything, and I mean anything using that link, I do make a small commission, so you help support the channel. Once again, a big thank you and a massive shout out to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. Now back to the riffs! And now we have not only the oldest song in the entire episode, but also probably the easiest one to play. It's Acid Bath with Dr. Seuss Is Dead. So much of you in my audience love Acid Bath, and you always ask me to include them whenever you can in one of the episodes, and I definitely thought that they should be included, especially because I think this is one of their most iconic songs. And in my opinion, it's a really representative song for sludge with the... I don't know, those little things just add such a feeling of impending doom, I think. It almost reminds me a little bit of like early Black Sabbath. I don't know, let me know what you think. And after the simplest song of the episode, we have to have the most technical one by far. It's Shadow of Intent with the Catacombs. The album Reclaimer really brings up a lot of good memories from high school, because when this album came out, it was right in my second year of high school, I believe. I kind of feel a little bit of nostalgia with it, with this album being almost 10 years old now. The part that I chose to go with was, of course, the really technical riff that I believe is a very, like, quintessential kind of modern technical death metal riff, with going like... And after the blast beat part, of course, they had to harmonize it. This is the longest section out of the entire episode because I really wanted to add that slammy part after that technical riff. It's a perfect contrast of technicality and brutality, in my opinion. Of course, it wouldn't be a proper MEANEST Riffs episode if you couldn't fit a slam band whenever we can. It's Guttural Slug with Eyes of Abomination. I already knew that I was gonna include Guttural Slug in this episode because as I was doing the slam-centric episode last time, I noticed that they tuned to drop A sharp, so I was like, hey, one more band to add to the list because this is not a super common tuning, and I definitely went for a different vibe with this, this is an entirely tremolo pick riff. And it just sounds so brutal to me with the double kicks following them with 30-second notes, which sounds wild. I freaking love that kind of riffs. And we have another very simple song, and it's a little bit more of an industrial kind of thing. It's Static X with Terminator Oscillator. I've always known Static X as a C standard band because that's what most of their classic albums were on. I do remember their later ones being in drop A sharp. Glad to have Static X on the list, one of my favorite new metal bands because they get lumped a lot with that scene. And also one of the only industrial bands that I listen to at all. And of course with Static X, it's all about the vibe and the electronic samples. So of course the riff is gonna be super simple. That's literally the entire riff, and honestly, it's probably really fun to play in a live setting. But after that, we have another metalcore band, and it's one that I never really got into, but this is still a pretty main riff. It's Like Moths to Flame with the Preservation of Hate. I noticed that drop A sharp was used by a lot of like scene metalcore bands, like around the late 2000s, early 2010s era especially. And I never really got into like Moths to Flames because around the time that I discovered them, I already had discovered Whitechapel and Carnifex. So I was like, I don't know, this isn't heavy enough for me right now, but this riff goes really hard. I love me a good panic-core riff with that. It's really hard to beat that kind of stuff. Last but not least, we have actually a significantly requested band for this episode. It's Motionless in White with Thoughts and Prayers. And I went with one of their newer songs because none of the Puppet songs are in drop A sharp. They're all in drop B. And those have the best riffs in the discography. But ended up going for this one, not only because it was recommended, but also has a very new metal-y / Slipknot kind of vibe. And it initially has a very like standard new metalcore kind of riff, but then it goes into this like down-picking part. The next part of it sounds very Slipknot, but it's also kind of dancey in a weird way. I don't know, it was a lot of fun to learn. But that's it for today's video, gang. As always, let me know in the comments down below what are your favorite drop A sharp riffs. And once again, a massive shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Sweetwater. Make sure to check them out in my affiliate link in the description down below. If you would like to watch another video full of mean and nasty and disgusting riffs, you can watch it right here. All my social media links, but the description link will be in the description down below as always. So please go ahead and check it out. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.